Hey, fourth grade. All righty. Happy Monday. Time for another week. And we only have 2 more lessons left in chapter 8. Really short chapter. So we're going to be doing 8.4 today, where we're multiplying a whole number by a mixed number. And the process really isn't going to change too much. We've got a few more steps that I have to throw in there. So before we can multiply a whole number times a mixed number, we first have to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. Oh, I know we hate math. We hate changing them, but that's the only way that we can make it work. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and knock out step 1. Let's go ahead and change this mixed number. So remember, to make it mad, that M stands for multiply that whole number times the denominator. 3 times 2 is 6. Very good. That A stands for add the product to the numerator, and that becomes our new numerator. So 6 plus 2 is 7, 8. Very good. And that D, remember, stands for denominator because the denominator stays the same. Very good. So that 3 is going to go down here. So now that we've got 2 times 2/3 equaling 8/3. I'm going to put that down here, not on my answer line to the whole problem, silly Miss Stevenson. All right. And now this should look pretty familiar because we know how to multiply a whole number times a fraction like this, right? Okay, so remember, when we are multiplying the whole number in the fraction, we always multiply the whole number times the what? Very good, times the numerator. So 5 times 8 equals 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And that becomes our new numerator. Okay, and that denominator, first rule of fractions, denominator always does what? Stays the same. Good job. So that 3 is going to go there. Okay, now unfortunately, 40/3 cannot be our answer because that is an improper fraction. We can't leave our fractions improper, okay? So we're going to, for step 3, we're going to have to change that mixed number or that improper fraction back into a mixed number by doing GLAD, okay? So GLAD, the G stands for go divide the numerator by the denominator, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and divide 40 by 3. How many times can 3 go into 4? Very good. 1 time. 3 times 1 is 3. Very good. So I'm going to put that right down here. Then I'm going to have to subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Very good. And then I'm going to check, is 1 less than 3? Yes, it is. Bring down that 0. How many times can 3 go into 10, boys and girls? 3 times what will get me close to 10? 3. Very good. So I'm going to put that 3 right back up here on top of the house. 3 times 3, that number I just put up there, is 3, 6, 9. Very good. And then we are going to subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. Awesome job. 1 is less than 3. Do I have anything left to bring down? No, I do not, which means 1 is my remainder. Okay, now that we have done step 1, no, that seems like a long step 1 for GLAD, doesn't it? L stands for leave the quotient as the whole number, okay? So the quotient is 13. A stands for always put the remainder as the what? Is the remainder the numerator or the denominator? Very good. It's always the numerator. So it's going to be my numerator. And then D stands for denominator stays the, good job. So my denominator will be 3. So 5 times 2/3 is equal to 13 and 1/3. There we go. Good job, guys. All right. I know it's a little bit of the steps. We have to do math, and then we have to multiply, and then we have to do GLAD. However, The more practice we do, the easier it's going to get. And y'all are all super smart, so I know you're going to do awesome the more that we practice with this. All right, let's do one more example for good measure, okay? 3 times 2 and 1/2. First step is we're going to have to change that mixed number to an improper fraction by making it mad, okay? I might be making you mad in the process of making the improper fraction, but we got to do what we got to do, guys, right? Okay, so let's take 2 and 1/2. First step is multiply. Denominator times the whole number. 2 times 2 is 4. Very good. Then A stands for add. Good job. Adding 4 plus that numerator, which is 5. Good job. So 5 becomes my new numerator. And then D stands for denominator because the denominator always stays the same. Good job. So that 2 is going to come right back down here. This whole number, of course, up front does not change. So now we've got 3 times 5/2. Can we do that? Yes, we can, because we know exactly how to multiply a whole number times a fraction. Okay, so when we multiply a whole number times a fraction, which two numbers do we multiply together? Yes, exactly. The whole number times the numerator. Okay, we don't mess with this denominator. Whole number times the numerator. So 3 times 5 is 5, 10, 15. And that becomes my new denominator? No, good. Numerator. Very good. And then my denominator stays the same. Very good. It stays a 2. Great job. All right, so step 3, can I leave this as an improper fraction? Unfortunately, no, I'm so sorry, we can't. So we've got to make this improper fraction glad and change it back to a mixed number. So first step of glad is the G, go divide. And we are going to go divide the numerator by the denominator. 15 divided by 2. Okay, how many times can 2 go into 15? How many times can 2 go into 15? Oh, I heard someone say it. 7. Very good. 7 times. And 2 times 7 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I'm going to put that 14 right underneath here like that. Then we are going to subtract. 15 minus 14 is 1. Great job. 1 is less than 2. Is there anything left to bring down? No, there is not, which means that 1 goes up here as my remainder. Very good. All right, so now we move on to the second step of glad, the L. Leave the quotient as the whole number. Which number up here on top of this house is the quotient, the 7 or the 1? Very good, the 7. So that 7 is going to be my new whole number. And then A stands for always leave the what as the numerator? Very good, the remainder. So my numerator is going to be 1. And then D, y'all tell me you already know what it means. What does it mean? Exactly. The denominator stays the same. So that 2 is going to come right on over here. Very good. So 3 times 2 and 1/2 is 7 and 1/2. Great job, guys. Okay, so now that you know how to multiply a whole number by a mixed number, you can go and do your practice in your folder. So you make sure you're always checking those. Also, if you need to, pause this video, take a picture of these steps right up here so that you can remember them and have them to look back on in case you don't want to come play through the video all over again. All right, guys, I will see you back here tomorrow with our last lesson of Chapter 8. Have a wonderful afternoon.